Hey, what's going on guys, XpertFusion here, and today I want to talk about Black Ops Cold War Zombies and the fact that DLC maps for zombies this year might be free. Now, it's not like 100% confirmed, but there's a big possibility that they will be free just because of the fact that there's no season pass for this game on any of the special editions, and I'm sure they would have had a special edition with the zombie season pass. And also Treyarch literally came out and said that we're going to have the post-launch season with free maps and multiplayer, and then they also said zombies experiences. So to me that sounds like, of course, zombies DLC will be free this year, which is insane. So there's no zombies pass like we were all kind of assuming would happen, maybe like a pass like $20 for 4 maps or something for the 4 main DLC maps. It sounds like they're just gonna have free DLC. Now we don't know if it's going to be 4 maps or 5, or if they'll have a couple Easter egg maps and a couple survival maps. I'm sure they'll do something like that, but this is worrying in some ways, but also really great in other ways. So obviously it's really great because it's free. For me this doesn't really matter too much because it's more like I was gonna buy it anyways, you know what I mean? It's just saving me an extra 20 something dollars, sure, but it's not really that big of a deal. So I personally don't really care too much, but it's great for people who don't want to spend that extra money, or they don't care as much to spend that extra money, but now they can try out the maps without even spending the extra money, which is, I think, a pretty great thing for sure. So that's a huge positive. Obviously them being free will get more exposure to zombies as well. More people will be playing it, because one thing I've noticed is there's a lot of players who don't buy DLC ever. They just play the Call of Duty game. They don't get access to a lot of zombies maps. Some of the best zombies maps in history are only within the season pass. So maps like Mob of the Dead, Origins, Der Eisendrache, you can't play these maps unless you purchase them. Literally the best maps. The on-disc maps usually aren't the best. I mean, obviously if you go way back, you got Noct, Kino, 5, and then you have Transit. Like some of them, they're classic, but then you have some stinkers, like I said, Transit. Shadows of Evil, I think, is a great map, but a terrible map for a starting player, especially someone who's not going to buy DLC. They're probably not going to like Shadows of Evil that much. Spaceland's pretty great, though. And then you get to BO4. 9 is like the only map that I feel like is good for a lot of the casual players in Black Ops 4. It's just a lot of the DLC maps tend to be the better ones, I've noticed, right? That's a big thing, and being able to have all these maps for free is going to be great for those players. But why is it worrying? For me at least. This might not be an issue, but it definitely could be an issue. So zombies clearly had a massive budget cut in Black Ops 4, like halfway through it, right? Around after Ancient Evil came out. A big part of that was Black Ops Cold War and the fact that they had to start working on this game early. But I think it also had to do with the fact that zombies just wasn't making much money in Black Ops 4 because you had the Black Ops Pass and you didn't have the individual DLCs, and people didn't love the game that much. They were much less likely to buy these DLCs, therefore they didn't make much money from the zombies DLC in Black Ops 4. They may have made a lot in Black Ops 3, but that was 5 years ago, right? So they got to think about, current day, so they cut the budget of zombies, but zombies just wasn't making much money, even from elixirs and stuff. People just weren't buying them too much. So zombies has kind of lacked a really good monetization system. I think Black Ops 3 is the only time where they got a lot of money from Gobblegums, but even then, it's not nearly as much as to what they're getting from the current system in Modern Warfare. But they can't even have that sort of elixir Gobblegum sort of earning system with the, Dr. Monty's factory, because supply drops aren't in the game anymore. And I would argue to say that the Gobblegums are a similar way to gambling as loot boxes were. So if loot boxes are gone, I'm sure as hell they're not going to bring back Dr. Monty's factory. They could bring back Gobblegums, right? But they're not going to bring back the way you earn them in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 and World War II and Infinite Warfare. They're not going to bring that back, right? So they're going to have to find a different way to earn them. But the problem is they're stat changing, right? Gobblegums change things in the game, right? They make things less fair, I guess, in a way. And I feel like that would be kind of weird for us to have a shop with these items. So maybe they'll do something like that where you just straight up purchase oh, here's 5 perkaholics for 500 COD points. Will they do something like that? Possibility. If they had that, they would have to have a free way to earn them beside it. If they didn't, it would blow up in their face. There'd be a lot of backlash. Even if there was free DLC, we would still complain about that. So the only way I feel like they can make it work other than doing that to get money for zombies would be obviously cosmetic microtransactions, just like Modern Warfare with a shop. But the problem is, I don't feel like people care much about cosmetics and zombies as opposed to how much they care about it in Warzone and multiplayer. Like, I just don't feel like people just care as much. Now, I'm sure they'd probably make it so if you buy an item in multiplayer, you get it in zombies, just like in Black Ops 4. If you earn an item in multiplayer, you can use that same Mastercraft variant in zombies, which I really liked. And if that comes back, that'll be pretty cool. But how would the skins work, right? Skins aren't going to work that well because they don't, transfer over from zombies characters to multiplayer. That just wouldn't make much sense. Now, I've always said, okay, what about having... I would care for it personally. I think other people might, but they need to find a way to make it so people would actually care to put, skins on for different zombies characters and such. I think they could find a way to do it. And people are like, oh, well, what if they find more than enough... and what if they make more than enough money in multiplayer in Warzone? Why would they need to make even more in zombies? Well, this is the way they think about it. The more money they make, they look at what mode they're getting that money from. Are they buying it from the shop in Warzone? Are they buying it from the shop in multiplayer? Are they buying it from the shop in zombies? That's what they look at. And they're more willing to put more money back into the modes that are making more money. So, if zombies is not making a lot of money, if everyone's buying the microtransactions from multiplayer and using them in multiplayer and Warzone as opposed to zombies, don't you think they'd lower the budget a little bit for zombies and put more of that budget towards multiplayer and Warzone? To me, that makes the most sense. It seems like something Activision would do. I'm sure Treyarch wouldn't be too down with that. They'd be like, no, we want to, make our zombie maps a little bit bigger, a little bit better. But if they don't see the money potential there, I feel like they might take it away. Now, unless zombies is really solid in this game and everyone loves it and it's very beloved, I think it would be fine, right? But what if it's not the best thing ever? How are they going to put more money into DLC and more budget if people aren't playing it and therefore people aren't buying items in it? And that kind of scares me. At least if there's paid DLC, there's more of a chance of people buying things because they're going to want to try out the maps anyways. But if it's free, they can try them out without even having to pay anything, and they don't have to buy anything, because if they don't like the mode, why the hell would they buy something that's not the actual map itself? You know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they handle it. I hope it turns out for the best. Hopefully it doesn't take away any of the quality or quantity of the stuff within zombies, and hopefully zombies can still be goddamn fantastic as, it's been for most CODs, at least in my opinion. I've never really hated zombies except for exo zombies. Every other mode I've been like, you know what, it's pretty fun and I enjoy it for the most part. So I'm really looking forward to this game, of course, not just zombies, but the entirety of it, which is really interesting because usually most Call of Duty years, I'm like only looking forward to certain modes. I'm like, this mode looks a little iffy this year, but the other modes look pretty good. But this year, we haven't even seen anything from zombies yet, but just based off of leaks and information that we've heard from rumors, every mode sounds great, right? Obviously, we've seen some campaign and we've seen like a little snippet of multiplayer, which those both sound great and look great. Warzone Zombies, like I said, we don't know anything about these two modes, but I have a big feeling they're gonna be goddamn fantastic, so I cannot wait. Hopefully you guys can either, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.